welcome to Cindy's Library. This is Cindy, and today, as promised, I am going to talk about the manga that I read in March. Maybe we should start doing that, Manga March. Anyway, I read the first volumes of, one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, I believe, manga in March. So I'll go from my least favorite to my favorite. So I started off with Honey Lemon Soda, first volume by Mayu Murata. And that is the story of an extremely awkward girl, and she's just starting high school, trying to make a new start, not being successful, when a boy, he's not a bad boy, but he's not exactly known as a good boy either, if that makes sense. He intervenes, he notices her, and they start forming a relationship, a friendship. That's all it is really in the first volume. He's popular, though, so that leads to complications. The art I like. What I don't like is how much the main girl is bullied. I don't know if that is going to be as much of a issue going forward, since obviously people are noticing that the guy is noticing this girl, and might not be happy if they bully the girl, but might read another volume, we'll have to see. The next one would be Waiting for Spring by ANASHIN. And this one, if you're going to do a high school romance, I enjoyed this one more. A not dissimilar premise. Socially awkward girl starting high school, wanting a new start there. And in this case, she works at this cafe, and the high school basketball team, the boys' basketball team, ends up going there and make friends with her. So I put this down here because can't say that high school romance is my favorite, and I have little interest in basketball, but I enjoyed this one better than Honey Lemon Soda. Let's see. I'm going to have to put probably The Night Blooms Behind Castle Walls by Masanari Yuduka. This one is extremely cute. It's basically about a kid who is a page at a castle and wants to become a knight. And basically, it's following this page around and learning about European medieval life, either through the things the page does or is involved with or overhears, or through the things that the page is learning themselves. So completely adorable if that is what you want. Not putting it higher just because It seems there's a tad bit more, but not much more than that. So that seems about right for that. Next. Hmm. I'm probably going to have to put Witch Hat Atelier by Kamome Shirahana. In this one, uh, witches are an exclusive group of people. Only people who have magic can become witches. However, our heroine, she is given a book and a pen in the form of a magic wand, and when she ends up drawing a figure out of the book, it actually does magic, and she actually accidentally ends up petrifying her mother. Now, ordinarily, anyone who is not a magic user who learns up learning the secret about magic, their memories are erased. But because the person on the scene to help her is he has more liberal ideas about magic than most of his fellows. And because of the situation our heroine is in, and she's the only one that knows who gave her the book, what the symbol actually looks like, and things like that, he talks the Magic Council into letting her become a witch. Now, this isn't higher just because there are some very, very dark undertones already just in the first volume. So I don't know. This has the potential to go either way for me. So we shall see. Now, the next one on my list is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. So this one starts with celebration. Hooray! Our questing heroes have defeated the Dark Lord. All is well. Much rejoicing all around the land. Which is great. But what happens afterwards? That is what this explores. Frieren, our main heroine, she is an elf. And so she has been around a long time, and she is going to be around a long time. However, the others of her questing companions, one was a human warrior, one was a human cleric, and one was a dwarf. Now, dwarves are a bit longer lived, but not nearly like elves. We're going in a Tolkienish direction. I'm not sure they actually do live forever, that they're free from death unless they're killed, but obviously elves live a crazy long time. And so we look at the implications of this, because one of the first things that happens after the celebration is our heroes decide to meet 50 years in the future to celebrate again and commemorate everything. Well, we see exactly what the implications of that are. And Frieren, she discovers she didn't necessarily know her companions quite as well as she thought. So she begins a journey retracing some of their paths. And look forward to seeing more of that. Now the next one is Beyond the Clouds by Nicke. Don't know if there's more than that. That's all that's here. But anyway, it was compared to Castle in the Clouds, and that's actually fairly apt. We have a young boy who's basically an apprentice working with machines and such. And he does more than that, of course, but that's where his interest lies. And one day he finds a girl who has fallen out of the sky, a girl with wings, or at least one wing. She has lost one of her wings. And, well, things go on from there. That one I really enjoyed. Okay, and yes, the last one. And this is the one I couldn't help but guess. Magus of the Library. So we start with a young boy, Theo. He absolutely loves books, loves learning. Would live at the library if they would let him. Sadly, they don't let him. He lives in basically the slums, so they don't let him in the library. His sister spends all her time working, so he doesn't have to, at least not so much time-wise, so that he can attend school. And one day, a group of librarians comes to his town, which is in the middle of nowhere, and things go on from there. This has some large potential based on the backstory, which we've only gotten glimpses of so far. Very excited to continue with Theo and his adventures. And one fun part is, well, there is magic involved, I can tell you that. They also talk about a lot of real life library principles or features. And as a librarian, well, let's just say I am in love. So, those are the manga that I tried out in March. Don't know if I will continue with all of them, certainly not all right away. A few of them are finished. A few of them seem to be still ongoing. A few have been published in Japan, but have not necessarily, or have only just started been published here in the US. Honey Lemon Soda, that just started here, even though it's been going for years in Japan. What was that one? Waiting for Spring. That was digital only. It's complete there in the US, but they have started releasing it in physical format if you're interested in that. And like I said, some of them are definitely ongoing. But that is part of the fun of this, is just seeing where things go. Always fun to find some new manga to try, though. So, for starters, I'm definitely going to be working on this series. And we'll see how I feel about the others. If they've made enough of an impression for me to continue. Several of these almost definitely. Some of them, especially at the bottom of my list, possibly not. But that's okay. Everyone's tastes differ. That's what makes it so fun to share your favorite stories, see what other people have as their favorite stories. So, have you tried some new manga lately? If so, what would you recommend? Or what are some of your old favorites? I definitely like magic, and I also seem to swing towards slice of life, so that might give you some idea. Oh, and also definitely not anything above uh, 13 on up. I'm afraid I am not mature enough for adult content in anything, so we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for stopping by, though. I truly do appreciate it. So until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy, and as always, happy reading.